Welcome back. Despite a disappointing state election outcome for the BJP and the RBI governor's surprise resignation last evening, the Lal Street saw a sharp rally after a gap-down opening to end with gains of about 0.5%. So let's bring those charts up for you. The Nifty and the Sensex opened with cuts of more than 1%, but saw a sharp recovery. The Bank Nifty fared below par and ended with a 0.25% uptick. The mid-caps, however, outperformed and ended the day 1.6% higher. Anuj Singhal is standing by with a detailed analysis. Anuj, two perceived tailwinds shrugged by the traders on the Lal Street.
Stunning recovery for the market today, and this is despite the market getting the worst possible news. Of course, it had to negotiate with the RBI governor quitting overnight, and in the state election, the market seeing reversal. But in the morning, like our base case was, short trade did not work because the market had already gone down quite a bit yesterday. And today morning from the low point, there was a stunning recovery. In fact, almost 500 points, more than 500 points on the Nifty Bank, 300 points nearly on the Nifty is the kind of intraday recovery that you had. And the mid-cap index had a massive rally today, 2% up on the index and about 3:1 in terms of advanced decline. Towards the end, there was big buying in some of the big banks like Yes Bank, which was up 8%. SBI was up about 3%. Kotak Mahindra Bank was up 2.5%. Then there was buying in beaten down names like Sun Pharma. Titan had quite a bit of buying. Metal stocks also surged in trade. So they also saw some bit of buying. In the broader market also, there was quite a bit of buying in stocks like Adani Enterprises, Max Financial, DHFL. The short point is it all boils down to risk-reward. And this morning's risk-reward perhaps was in favor of going long. That's worked. Now, interesting to see whether things have bottomed out or whether the market has one more round of reversal. We'll find out, of course.
So, very good day for the markets. Thank you so much for those details, Anuj. Moving on, Urjit Patel's resignation as the governor of the Reserve Bank is especially surprising, as we had been given to understand that the issues between the government and the central bank had been ironed out on the November 14th meeting. That's the word coming in from former RBI Chief D. Subba Rao. In a conversation with CNBC TV18's Lata Venkatesh, Subba Rao went on to say that the government will have to do some serious introspection and choose a governor who will demand the credibility of the market as well as be able to restore the central bank's goodwill. Take a look.
My first reaction was of some surprise and some no surprise as well, because no surprise because for over the last 2 months, the possibility of Dr. Patel resigning has been in the realm of speculation. But I was also surprised because there was an impression that after the 19th November meeting, the government and the Reserve Bank had resolved the outstanding issues. But evidently, Governor Patel seems to have been pushed beyond this level of comfort, and there comes the resignation.
Okay. We are still in the realm of speculation, but the understanding is that at the upcoming December 14th board meeting, the board was to get extraordinary powers over all actions of the Reserve Bank. Do you think this would have been beyond, as you call, the realm of comfort of any Reserve Bank governor?
Oh, absolutely. Because the board of the Reserve Bank, as currently structured, is not an appropriate forum for taking decisions on policy issues. If the policy issues had to be taken in a committee or in a board, the board has to be structured differently. It has to have people who will have no conflict of interest. And also, I think they have to be full-time directors on the board, not people who are part-time like this now.
Oh, yes. I never thought of that, sir. But now when the government looks for a new governor, if this is the service conditions that the board will closely supervise, and the board is what it is, it cannot be changed unless perhaps the law is rewritten or different conventions are set. If these are the service conditions, do you think it will deter the next candidate?
I'm sure that the government has the maturity experience. They will introspect on Governor Patel's resignation and also perhaps examine in what way they will have to push their agenda. Push is the wrong word, but in what way they'll have to pursue their agenda, to what limits they can push it, and at what point of time they have to withdraw. So the government will have to do some deliberate, serious introspection on this. So given that the government will do that, the next incumbent governor, who she or he, will of course have the task of restoring the credibility of the RBI and entering into a working arrangement with the government, which does not give the impression of being influenced beyond acceptable levels by the government.
Who do you think is the best incumbent now?
I think the government should draw up a long list, narrow down to a shorter list, and choose a candidate who will command the credibility of the market, who is known for professional competence and for maturity of handling the relationship with the government.